This video is brought to you by U23CoLangs Academic Committee by tutor Ibrahim Zugo and recorded by David. Okay, I want to solve the second problem of penetration. We are given a cylinder of 50mm diameter standing vertically with its base lying on the horizontal plane and is completely penetrated by another 35mm diameter cylinder. The cylinder is inclined at an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal and bisects the axis of the vertical cylinder. Draw the curves of intersection between the two cylinders. As you can see from this problem, the height of the vertical cylinder is not given. Therefore, let's take 120 as the height of the cylinder, as well as the length of the horizontal cylinder is also not given. Let's take it also as 120mm. So now, do this. I'm going to use this method. First, in any kind of cylinder, you must first draw your cycle to have a very accurate. Now let's have our X and Y plane. Here is our horizontal plane, and then our vertical plane going upward. This is the vertical plane. Okay. Now, in all this, we have a distance of, let's say, 20mm that separates the front view and the top view of the cylinder. Now, let's take 20mm downward here. Okay, this is the gap with which the front view and the top view are being separated. Now, the diameter of the vertical cylinder is given as 50mm. Therefore, the radius is going to be 25mm. So now, I'll measure 25mm. This is 25. You measure 25mm using your compass. Then, from this point, from this point, you will now strike an arc to get your center line. Then now you draw your center line. Always note that to draw a cycle, you must first find your center line. So this is our center line. So now, this place as center line, I will now make a cycle. This cycle is 50mm diameter. Your cycle should be in construction line. So now the next thing is to project this upward to have our vertical standing cylinder. So now, take this line upward and do the same thing for this one also. Take this upward. Okay? Now, the next thing to do, we assume taking the vertical cylinder to be 120mm height. So now let's measure 120mm height. Measure 120mm. This one here. Okay, I'm going to use this. I'm taking from point 1, therefore I'm going to take 13. This is 120mm. So now, I will need the cylinder. This is it. Now, as it's been given, the vertical cylinder is the horizontal cylinder cuts through the vertical cylinder at the center and at what? 30 degrees. So now, let's bisect this vertical cylinder into two, which means we are going to measure 60 from any point. So now, measure 60. This is the half of the cylinder. Let us divide this half of the cylinder like this. Let's have a line, because if you may wish to use a protractor to draw your 30 degrees, or you can simply use the set square, like this is 30 degrees, or you can use your protractor to measure 30 degrees and then cut it. Either way is correct. So let me use my 30-60 for simplicity. So now with this, I will then draw a line like this. So now, draw the horizontal cylinder that bisects the vertical cylinder at 30 degrees. It also will take the length to be 120. Now I will measure 60 from this point here and also 60 downward to have my point. Now, I measure 60 from the center. This is 60. And then I will measure 60 downward also. This is 60. As you can see, it's now a total of 120. So now, with this, I'm going to take a distance of 20mm to separate the front view with our cycle. So now, let's take a distance of 20mm as we did here. So we can just take this distance here, they are all equal. And from this point, I will now strike an arc. So now, as it's been given, the diameter of the cylinder that bisects the vertical cylinder 30 degrees is given as 35mm. Therefore, the radius is going to be 17.5. Now, I'm going to measure 17.5 from my ruler. 17.5. This is 17.5. So here it is, 17.5. Then now, from here, this point, I will now strike an arc. Then I will have to locate my center line also. In that, how do I do so? I can use my 30 degrees, since 60 degrees, since this line is 30 degrees. So if I take another line of 60 degrees, they are going to perpendicular. So now I will cut through it at 60 degrees. Also this, you can also use a protractor, but using the set square is easier and faster. So now I will cut on this line like this. So now I have my center line. This is my center line. Now with this, since I've measured 17.5 from my ruler, I'll just take here, same here, and then I will make a cycle here. Here it is. You can see that in some example, some people do take it this way. This way is 120 degrees, whereas here is 30 degrees. So now we're going to divide our cycle into 12 equal parts. So now we can use this method using compass to divide. You take the radius of your cycle like this. Then from this point you cut an arc here, and then cut an arc under. Come to this point here, cut an arc up and down. Cut an arc here, cut an arc here. Come to this point also. You strike an arc here, and then do the same thing here. And then come to this point, you cut an arc here, and do the same thing here. Whichever you find more easier, you can do it. You can either use your protractor or you use your compass. So now we are going to join those 2 points. Connect these 2 points like this. Let me make it a little bit darker so that it can be seen. But all should be in construction line. So now I'll connect these 2 points passing through the center. So it should pass through the center. Okay? So now, here it is. So now I'll connect these 2 points also, passing through the center. Sorry, these 2 points, passing through the center. I will now connect them like this. Okay? Next, I'll connect these points, passing through the center. Here it is. Now I'm going to number these cycles, these points. Let's start with here as number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the next thing to do is to project those here, this point, tangent downward to have your cylinder. So now I will now project it. Like after doing the cycle, you can now just project it to have your cylinder before you now number them. So now either way is correct. Now I will take this downward. Then also I will project this down. So now, since I've already measured my cylinder here, using my 60 degrees, wherever I cut here, it's going to be perpendicular here to the line like this. Now I have my cylinder, then come here also and do the same thing here. You can change it like this. It's all no, it's all 60. So I'll now connect right here. As you can see, we have our cylinders. Now we can choose to darken them or finish all our drawing before we start darkening them. Let's darken the cylinders. So now we darken this. Okay, darken this. Darken this. Okay. So when darkening this, whenever you come here, you will stop here like this. And here also, you take it from here like this. Inside here is construction line. So you can choose to do, is hidden line. You can choose to do hidden line inside. You can choose to leave it. But let's do the hidden line inside. It's a hidden line here, hidden line. Now come here, let's darken this one also. We'll darken this because it's what you can see that will make it darker. And here will be hidden line as it cannot be seen. So we darken this place also. Here it is. Now, the next thing is to darken the vertical cylinder also. Okay, there it is. Okay. Okay, now as you can see, we have our cylinder being penetrated. Now, let's come to the top view. In this, we are going to draw this cycle also here. Let's take our center line downward from here. In this, we can just project this center line here, this line here, since it's vertical, and project it downward. Okay. Okay, now we have our center line. The next thing to do is to draw a cycle here of 35 millimeter diameter. I can measure this radius since it's all the same radius. I measure this radius is 17.5. So with here at center, I will draw a cycle. This cycle should be also construction line. So now, the same thing as I did, I will divide this cycle into 12. So now I'm going to use protractor here to divide the cycle. So here it is. Now I'll take 30 degrees here, 30, 60, 90, so divided, 120, and 150. So now I'll connect these points. Passing through the center line, just drawing the points. So it's going to be, here it is. I'm making my line a little bit darker so that to be seen. So now I will connect this point also. Here it is. Next, I will connect this point also passing through the center line. Okay. So now, do the same for this one. So here are the lines. So in numbering this, I'm going to, now the next thing to do is to project the line to pass through this legal cycle. So now, I'll take it like this. Okay. Then, take it like this. Okay. Now, to have the height, length of the cylinder, I will just project this one downward from up here. Since I have this point here, project it downward here. So now here I can see darken its coil here to have my cylinder. So, sorry, I don't need to darken it because here I'm going to project each point, it is inclined. So I cannot see all the sides since it is inclined. So now, project it downward here. Let's project this one also downward. Here it is. Now, the next thing to do is to find our curve here. How do we do that? We are going to take each point here, we drag them downward, and also for this point we take them down. Now, let's also number this also. As you can see, we number this from here as 1, here, right? We are going to start our 1 from this side. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So, now let's project our line from here. Using your 30, 60 degrees also, you just connect it. If, for instance, the cylinder that penetrates at 45 degrees, you're going to be using 45 degrees set square. Or if otherwise, you are going to be using protractor. So now, let's take this down. Point 12 and 2 are at the same points. So now point 11 and 3 also touches each other. Take 3 and 11 and downward. Okay. Then point, let's take it downward passing through. Okay. So point 10 and 4 already passed through. And now point 9 and 5 also are touching each other. Take point 9 and 5 like this. Then point 8 and 6 also touches each other. Point 8 and 6. Now the next thing, we are going to project this line also on the lines. So now we will start from point 11 and 9 touches each other. Okay, take 11 and 9, take them here. Then 8 and 12 also touches each other. Take 8 and 12. 1 and 7 already lie on the plane. So take 2 and 6. Then you now take your 3 and 5. If you observe something here, in the former one, I start by numbering 1 here and take it. So it doesn't matter. Whenever you take 1 from this plane, make sure you take your 1 to be at this point. If you take your 1 from here, your 1 will be at this point. Just as it. So now, I'm going to connect all points, all lines to their corresponding numbers. Now, let's take from here. Our line 10 here we now project it upward to where it touches line 10. This is our line 10 at the top. This is the line 10 here. And we project upward to where it touches line 10. So now here, this is line 10. And we make a dot here, a sign. Now we move down to line 11 and 9 here. So now I want to take line 11 and 9 lie on the same plane. I want to take line 9, take it upward. Okay, see my line 11 and line 3, they are what touching the circle at the same point. Line 11 is line 11 and line 3 are touching the circle at the same point. So we come here to line 11 and 3, here are they. Then you take it upward, projected upward like this. Okay, you now find your line 11. This is your line 11. So line 11, and then your line, sorry, I'm taking my line 11 and 9. Line 11 and 9, which I took upward like this, 11 and 9. So I'll now come to point 11, this is our line 11, this is the line 9. I'll now make a dot at line 9. The next thing is to come to line 12 and 8, touching this cycle here. I'll now take line 12 and 8, project it upward. Line 11 and 8, taking upward. So now I will locate my line 8. This is my line 8 here, is it? So I will make a dot here. And then line 12 is my line 12. I will make a dot here. So I have all my points. Here line 1 and 7 lies at this point. This line 1 here and this line 7 here. Then the other side, I will now come here. My line 4 from here, it touches this point at where? Touch this circle here. I will now project it upward. Line 4. So I will take my line 4 upward like this. Line 4, where it touches the cycle. So, okay. Let me call this line, there's a mistake here. Let's make it parallel. I can cite it. So now, this is line 4. This is where it touches the cycle, line 4. Line 4 and 10 correspond to each other. So now, this is my line 4, right? I want to make a dot here at line 4. Now the next thing is to go to line 3. Line 3, this is my line 3, right? Where it touches the cycle here. Line 3 touches the cycle here, and I'll project it upward also. And take my line 3 upward, like this. Line 3 and 5, sorry, line 3 and 5, this is the line 3 and 5. And I'll locate on 3 and line 3 and line 5. This is my line 3, I'll come here, this is where it cuts the line. This is my line 5, I'll come here, this is where it touches the line. Okay. Now the next thing is to draw my line 2 and 6. Line 2 and 6 touch each other. This is where they touch the cycle. So now I will project my line 2 and 6 upward. Taking them upward like this. Okay. So let's look at line 2. This is my line 2. This is where it cuts. I will make a dot. And then this is my line 6. I will make a dot also. Now I have all my points. The next thing to do is to use a French curve to connect all points. Okay, using your French curve to connect, you can use any of the French curve that will give you more points. So you must, in connecting, you must have at least 3 points connected before you make your line. So let's see this. Like in this case, I have more than 3 points connected, so I can just join them all together. Okay, now I strike, just connect all the points. I have more than 3 points connected, so I will connect all the points like this. Okay. And now I'll connect the remaining points. I only have 2 more points to connect. So here it is. So this is it. Now I'll come here and do the same thing. So I will connect this point also. As you can see, I'm trying to have the maximum number of points that I can connect. So here also, I have, okay. So now I can connect 3 points, then move on to the next 3 points. So as you can see, now complete here by connecting the next points we have. So here they are. So this is the curve. Now we come to the downside also. We are going to project all those points downward to see here. Because from the top view, this place is hollow. Yes, here also is hollow. So therefore we can see, we can project now downward to have our points here. So now we're going to take this line here, downward. Okay. Take this, so downward, and this. So from here, this point, this is line 1, right? This is our line 7. Come here, and put this our line 1, right? Make a dot. This is our line 7. This one corresponds to line 7. We now make a dot. Okay. The next thing, we now go to the second line here. That is line 2 and 12, right? So line 2 and 12. We now project it downward. Project this line downward. So now we locate our 2. This is our line 2. Here it is. Make a dot here. Here is our line 12. I'll make a dot here also. Now move on to line 3 and 11. Line 3 and 11. I'll also project it downward. Line 3 and 11. This is it. Line 3 and 11. Now find point 3. This is my line 3. Line 3. I'll now make a dot. This is my line 11. I'll now make a dot. Okay. The next thing is to come to line 4 and 10. Line 4 and 10. So now line 4 and 10, I'll now connect it here. Okay. My line 4, here's line 4. This is it. Make a dot here. Okay, let me make this clearly to see. My line 10 is here also. This is my line 10. Now the next is to come to line 5 and 9. This is my line 5 and 9. Then come here and project it downward. Now project it downward. Okay. And now come here and locate my line 5. This is my line 5. Now make a dot. My line 9, here it is. Now make a dot. Next is line 6 and 8. Line 6 and 8. Line 6 and 8. So now take this also downward. Then locate my line 6, here it is. And this is my line 8, here it is. So I've gotten all my points. And I'll now use my French curve to connect them. Next, let's also locate all those points. This is my line, this first line here, line 2 and 12. I'll do the same thing I did in the other side, the right hand side. And I'll connect these 2 points like this. Project downward. Now locate my line 2, this is my line 2. Make a dot. Line 12, make a dot. As you can see, this is my line 1, right? Line 1. And this is my line 1 also. Let's make a dot here. Make a dot here. Now the next thing is to come to this line. This line is line 3 and 11. Line 3 and 11, I'll now project it downward. Projecting it downward, I'm going to have something like this. So I will now come here and locate my line 3 and 11. This is my line 3, right? I'll now make a dot here. My line 11, here it is. I'll now make a dot here. And now the next thing is to connect this line, which is this line, line 4 and 10. Line 4 and 10, I'll now project it also downward, like this. So I'll now locate this is my line 4. Line 4, here it is. And I make a dot here. Then line 10, here it is. And I make a dot. Then come to this line. This line is line 5 and 9. Line 5 and 9, I will now project it also downward. Taking it downward. So now, if it's my line 5 here, this is my line 5. 5, I will now make a dot. And then line 9, this is my line 9. Now here, come and make a dot. Now, when this line is line 6 and 8. Line 6 and 8, let's project line 6 and 8 downward. This is what we have. So let's come here and find line 6. This is line 6, here it is. And then make a dot. Line 8, here it is. We make a dot. And the next thing is to use a French curve to connect all those points. Okay, now we use our French curve to connect those points. So we must have at least 3 points connected. So now here I have to 5 points connected. Okay, so I'll now connect them. Sorry, I have 4 points connected. I will now connect those points here. So now come to also here. Okay, I'll make these dots here. Now I will connect those points also. It's my 3 points. I'm going to try to connect them. Okay. Now let's do the same thing here also. Have the maximum number of points to connect. We have 5 points here also to connect. So now connect them all. Let's do the same thing here also. Connect those points. Also here I also have my 5 points. I will now connect them. Okay. So go down turn here also and connect them. Here also I have 5 points connected. I will now connect them. Okay. There it is. Now let's connect this small point here. Okay. This will suffice us. Okay. You can use any side of the point curve to make your connections. As far as you have 3 points and have a very smooth curve. So here it is. Now connected here and also here. Okay. Connect this point here. Collect this point here. 2 points. Okay, here's supposed to be construction hidden line. Here should be hidden line. So it's a mistake, having a little bit of distraction. So pardon me. So here it is. Let's clean this and make a hidden line. This place should be hidden line as it cannot be seen. Let's make it hidden. This is hidden line. So make it like this. Okay. Also hidden line. So, as you can see, this can be seen, that's why we make it a full line, whereas this cannot be seen. From the hole cannot be seen, so this is a hidden line. So now the next thing is to now project this horizontally to have our cylinder. Now connect this horizontally like this. Okay. Okay. Now we are going to darken this place. So this radius. Now darken this point here. And then the downside we also darken it like this. Okay. So here it is. Now here, if you wish, you may make a hidden line here also. If you wish, you may leave it. So here you can make a hidden line. Here also you can make a hidden line like this. So note, this should be hidden line. As you can see, I clean it. Should be hidden line. This will be a bold line. So that is it. Thanks for watching.